So we're going to start up here at the top. I'm going to go across each row, okay? So in the middle of fresh start and feeling feelings, we have Saturn, okay? And Saturn is one of the planets that is currently retrograde. So I do feel like it could be bringing up some things where maybe you felt kind of restricted. Planet is a karma planet, so it would make us have to reevaluate some things, make us kind of atone for anything that we did shitty to another person. And so Saturn could be wreaking some havoc. I don't remember exactly when it goes direct, but I want to say it's towards the end of the year, like November. So we've still got a few more months of it. But when we are dealing with the feelings, what's going to end up happening is we get a fresh start at the end. So this is a review process. That's how you should look at any sort of retrograde, is it's a review process. So whatever is going on, we're going to start having to review or look at things a little bit differently. We have a snake in the success box. So I feel like you could be really working on some things that you're trying to be successful at, and there could be a snake in your midst. So a snake, I read a couple of ways. One is it's a positive omen for shedding your skin, going through transformations, rebirth, and starting fresh, right? And so we're going to make a fresh start. If you think of a snake, it has to shed its skin or it can't grow and it will eventually die. So it has to do that to grow, okay? So Spirit's trying to tell you, if you shed the environment that you're in, you're going towards success. So that's really an important lesson. Next to it, we have setbacks and we have the butterfly. A butterfly is a symbol of change and transformation, rebirth, metamorphosis. Remember that a butterfly starts as a caterpillar. It goes into the cocoon before it emerges changed and transformed forever, right? It's a permanent change. So don't let any sort of setbacks cause you to worry about the outcome. Sometimes we have to go through a setback in order to be set up for success. And I feel like that's what's happening. All right, our spirit guides. I love this. It's a little angel down here. So it says, let's see. What does that say? The one I love. So I do feel like Spirit could be bringing you in your soulmate, a twin flame, however you want to call it. But I do feel like the angels are actually bringing you in somebody that will fulfill your actual needs, not somebody that's just a one-night stand or playing games with you. So I do feel like Spirit's trying to bring in some love in your life. All right. In work, we have the wheel, the boat wheel. Some of you could work, fishing vessels, longshoremen, things like that. But I feel more than likely this is spinning things in a new direction. So I do feel like Spirit wants to take you on kind of a journey. Maybe you need to go in a different direction for work to be successful. So don't be afraid of change. I feel like that's going to be really important. I do feel like you're going in a different direction. In learning lessons and transform, we have dad. So some of you could have some father issues right now. There might be some changes going on with that. I do feel like there's some lessons that you need to learn, maybe about your dad, maybe kind of put yourself in their position and kind of see what maybe they went through. I feel like depending on what generation your dad grew up in, he could be kind of a hard ass. Mine definitely was. And so I feel like they teach us a lot, but are we open to receive the message? And then we can transform, right? We can transmute that energy. It doesn't have to be something that's negative. In our home, we have a puppy dog. Little dog here. So somebody could be getting a pet. Maybe you're spending more time with a pet. Maybe it's like your child. I have 2 dogs and I love them to pieces. So I feel like somebody could be adding a family member in the form of a furry friend. We also have another butterfly. So something about the home is changing. Okay. Adding a pet could definitely change the situation at home. But something with home is changing or transforming. Maybe you're beautifying your home. Maybe you're redecorating, things like that. But there's definitely some changes going on with home. In love and romance, we have a cross. So I do feel like the divine energy is stepping in to bless you. And we have a dragonfly. So a dragonfly is symbolic for change. It's also a winged creature or a messenger. So we might be seeing some spirit energy around. I do feel like you have a passed on loved one someone that might be sending you in a new partnership as well. So that could really change things. I feel like spiritually or religiously, you guys will be a match. And so maybe that's been an obstacle for you before. I feel like that's about to change. An old flame. We do have another butterfly. So I feel like you could hear from somebody from your past, right? We are in all these retrogrades. It does tend to bring up situations from the past. Decide if it's worth your time or not to revisit that. Most of the time I would advise against it. It's usually not. Most people change, but there's a big but there. Not everybody changes enough for us to actually invest in them again. So I feel like you have changed enough that you don't want to go backwards to somebody that's an old flame. All right, let's see. We have family. So in family, we have this little bracelet. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so I do think that for some of you, you're going through some challenges with some family members, okay? And if you want things to get better, I feel like you're going to have to put in the work. We have Snoopy over here. So there could be some spying eyes. There could be some people in your life, in your family that, you know, they're not really on your team. And that's kind of a crummy way to put it. But I feel like there's some people in your life, especially in your family, that are more like enemies than family. So be cautious with that, you know, be cautious with telling them all your good news, because I feel like some of them just want to poo-poo on your parade. Your higher self, we have an angel. So connect with the higher realms, connect with your angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your higher self, God, source, spirit, the universe, creator, whatever you happen to call that, and connect with that, because they're going to give you some sort of information that maybe you need. In shadow work, we have the scissors. So sometimes we need to cut away some things, right? We need to cut away some things that are no good for us. We want to be really cautious of the company that we keep. So I feel like part of your shadow work is severing ties with parts of your life that you no longer wish to take forward. In the health category, we have the light bulb. So this would indicate there's some clarity coming, a breakthrough, a bright idea, some sort of invention perhaps could also be part of health. Maybe we're going to see some transformative energy in the collective, like health or medical breakthroughs. The mushroom, interesting. I do feel like energetically they're telling me that it could have to do with like a fungus being something that helps like eradicate some sort of bacteria or illness, something like that. They're also telling me that like psychedelics might start to get legalized for microdosing, things like that, to help with PTSD and things of that nature. So mushrooms could be important. They're also showing me another one. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Lion's mane is a mushroom. I want to say it helps with like brain health and things like that. So that is